Have a listen to that line. That's cool.
Soundtrack.
Hello there. Welcome back to another vocal analysis here at Voice Essentials. I hope you're doing well. I'm not doing 100% today. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. If you can hear that in my voice, then I'm a little bit lower than I normally would be. My vocal folds are a little bit swollen today. But not so much that we can't take the time out to have a watch of another Billie Eilish live performance. This one is at the 2024 Grammy Awards for her song that featured on the Barbie album, What Was I Made For? This is a beautifully haunting, it's one of those beautifully haunting sort of pop ballads. I really like this song. And it's the sort of song that I can see myself giving students over the coming years, because it's just got a lovely melody, lovely message, and it's got a bit of a challenge to it in the voicing of it. And we'll talk more about that as we get into the performance, which we're going to get into right now. I hope you enjoy it. It's a stellar performance. Here's Billie Eilish. Phineas on the keys. It's obviously written by both of them.
I used to float, now I just fall down. I used to know, but I'm not sure now what I was made for.
Have a listen to the breathy, the aspirated nature of the voice. And this is going to be a feature throughout the performance and of this song. I'm so pleased to be able to suggest that she's making a definite choice for this colouring. The reason I'm pleased to suggest that is, firstly, later on in the performance, she cleans that out. She gives us a clean tone. That tells us there's choice being made here. If this were her habitual sound, we would be having a different conversation, because this kind of sound is incredibly taxing on the voice, wearing on the voice, and potentially very damaging for the voice. I don't think that's a concern here. If she had to do this over and over and over and over and over again, it would be a problem. But here we have, she's performing at the Grammys and she's making a real definite choice to create this completely aspirated sound. The big part, the technical challenge of doing this is just how much air it uses. There is so much air being, flowed through the vocal folds, between the vocal folds to produce this, that the volume of air and therefore the management of that air is quite sizable. And she's doing this while she's sitting down. Not easy to do. Let's continue.
What was I made for? Taking a drive, I was an ideal, looked so alive. It turns out I'm not real.
Yeah, so you can see that we sort of run out of breath there and she has to sort of grab at another quick breath. She is breathing very high because she's sitting down, and so the diaphragm can't descend as much. But let me also point out the clear core. It's not breathy to the point that we've lost distinction in the tone. We can hear the note. The thread of the tone is still there. It's so important in breathy tone, which we use stylistically in performance, in contemporary performance. We use it purposefully for a particular, expression and texture, and it conveys beautiful emotion. But it's so important that you still have a note in there for the ear to reference as the melody. And Billie does that. She does it beautifully.
It turns out I'm not real, just something you paid for.
There she cleans it up. See that? That's a choice.
What was I made for? 'Cause I don't know how to feel.
One of the challenges too when you're doing breathy singing, I'll take it back so you can have a listen. One of the challenges of doing breathy singing is not only the exhalation of air, the movement of air to create the note and the sound, but it's also then making sure you try to get a full retraction of the vocal folds so that you don't get sort of an audible intake of air. And if we were to be particularly picky with Billie on this performance, we would suggest let's go looking for a little less aspirated intake. Not to clean it out completely, because I think there's a value in again, the emotive nature of that audible intake, but I don't know whether we need as much audibility. You leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Am I just being a little bit too picky for no reason? Let's continue.
I don't know how to feel, but I wanna try. I don't know how to feel, but someday I might. Someday I might.
I love that little change. Isn't it so minor? Just to take the glasses off, take the mic off. It fills in an otherwise void, vacuumed space, and it just changes something, just creates a little bit of a level change. I love that. Whoever's directed that, whether she's just made the choice to do that, and I dare say she probably has just made the choice to remove the glasses and move into another phase of the piece, but it's a lovely little signal for the audience as the song continues.
When did it end? All the enjoyment. I'm sad again, but don't tell my boyfriend it's not what he's made for.
Clean tone, she cleans it out.
But what was I made for? 'Cause I
Haven't listened to that line. That's cool.
'Cause I don't
Love it.
know how to feel, but I wanna try.
Oh, don't you just love Phineas's voice just coming in just underneath? It just layers. It's just so subtle. What I love about Billie Eilish and Phineas's arrangements and orchestrations of their pieces is the subtle layering. It's not always, but it's often got this beautiful nuance. Yeah, that they don't overdo anything, and that's real craftsmanship. I love that. And I want to make one other point about contemporary music in general is Billie Eilish is a great indicator that contemporary singing is not all about big, fat, high, full belt notes. It can be light and and upper register and flute register, and it can just float and just be that's not just simply the domain of the classical singer. Contemporary singing requires us to be able to use the full range, the full spectrum of weight of voice and registration. And this is a lovely song, that gives us just that.
I don't know how to feel, but someday I might. Someday I might. Think I forgot how to be happy. Something I'm not, but something I can be. Something I wait for, and something I'm made for. Something I'm made for.
Lovely. I've just had a thought, and you as people watching this might have an idea or a thought to this. And isn't it interesting that they're using an upright piano? For a gig like this, you would typically expect to see a grand piano. But it's the choice of an upright. And I wonder, and I'm just going to take it back, I want you to have a watch of, just to finish, I want you to have a watch of where she's got her mic. The mic is quite low. And for the level of sound she's putting out, that would suggest to me that the level of the mic will have to be quite high. The gain will have to be quite high. And I wonder as a result whether that dictates in some respect the choice to use an upright, which is going to have less, body of sound than a grand, that then, I don't know, I'm creating a hypothesis here, and I actually don't know why they've chosen an upright, but I wonder if all of those little factors are interplaying with each other. Have a watch of where she sits the mic. It's quite low. We typically, for particularly a really low volume sound like this, you'd have the voice up. Having the mic down on such a breathy tone does mean we're not getting too much wind noise into the mic. We're just getting the ambience of the air. But I don't know. There's something there, perhaps.
Something I'm made for.
I love the little thing at the end there. It's a very, very pretty performance, very pretty song, and exquisitely sung by Billie Eilish. She's a voice of a generation. I've said this before. So many of my younger singers come in with a Billie Eilish-esque sound, and that's because she's got an iconic signature. I hope you've enjoyed today's vocal analysis, and we do these vocal analyses every week. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. So make sure you subscribe to the channel to make sure you are reminded when you hit the white bell icon. You know all the stuff to do. I look forward to seeing you again soon. I'm Dr. Dan. Sing well.